So how's everything going?
It's going, man. It's going fast and frantic. This is a tough task, but we're tackling it, man. Gavin came in after we finished the photo shoot. What we were trying to do is try to get all of the content in and get the layout right.
Do you have anything to show me?
Yeah, absolutely. Come around here. Check it out. So this is the front page of the ad right here. And you'll have a picture of celebrity chef Curtis Stone right here. What Curtis will be doing is he'll be coming through here with cooking tips and things like that, but relate it back to, what we're selling here. This is basically the information types of identity theft: credit card fraud, utilities fraud, bank fraud, employment fraud.
I felt that Rock Solid had a clear vision, a good concept, but I felt that at times it was a little wordy. When people sit down and reading the magazine, you have to capture someone's attention within 2 or 3 seconds. Make it quick and simple, concise, fast.
I get a feeling you think those words are mighty small, don't you?
Well,
once it's done, it'll be killer. Okay?
all right, great.
Gavin didn't say much. He just looked very confused. And it was a lot of time. It was taking a lot of time out of my schedule and out of my day when I've got a deadline, and I was totally fine with the font size, and I wasn't going to change my concept based on somebody who just got sent in to just say, how's it going in here?
Your direction's great. It's easy. You give us a lot of
Did you get
direction.
our stuff, didn't you? Thank you, bro.
Make sure you're still
Cool.
confident.
Great.
Happy. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Wow. Her concept was that identity theft happens to everyone, but that Sharon was going to be our protector. Sharon was going to be watching over them as if she was LifeLock and Norton 360. Okay, what's the next shot? So the next shot is park bench. It ended up us being on a time crunch, and it was just like, okay, we gotta get our shots, we gotta get our shots.
We don't have a lot of time, so we're gonna do the group.
We're all waiting for this photo, and everything was waiting for this.
That's what I think. What is this for?
It's for PowerPoint. Yeah, it's for a PowerPoint.
I ate up way too much time.
We'd already done our photos, we were racing against time. So we were trying to make the editorial part of our ad straight to the point.
Everybody needs to help Holly with this presentation.
It's not done. I have 20 minutes.
Holly is frantically trying to get all of the information into our presentation. Can you give all your facts to Holly?
I'm trying.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
You guys, you got
Here you
15
go.
minutes.
Okay, check it out. What do you think? Sharon Osbourne, mother, manager, protector.
Is that approved? Download it to me. I have to put it on the
Yeah, okay.
It's not gonna
Okay.
At the very last second, I was switching slides and just making sure they were in the right sequence and didn't have a whole lot of time to go over it with Summer. I have no idea what the presentation looks like at this point. It was such a last-minute rush to fly in logos and images that, I don't know, I just hope it makes sense.
Oh my God.
I don't want him smile. I prefer not him smiling.
We haven't got any time. Worry about it. We've got to move.
As we got really close to the end, that's really a crucial time to make sure that everything you want into this document is in there. There's just so much to do, so little time.
This stuff's inaccurate, the way they're characterizing some guy getting information from your checking account. Not bank fraud. Bank fraud's a fraud against the bank, right?
I think we got to just stop the chit-chat.
That's easier said.
Wow, it's just so confusing.
All right. Hold on a second. All right. Brett and Rod were back there buzzing around. I knew what I needed to be focused on, and that was working with the graphic designer, getting this content in there. Can you put that just right up here?
Michael's taken full responsibility from the very start of the day for the entire project, and he's put his hand up, he's put his neck out there and said, this is mine, I'm going to make it work.
We don't need to have a big line there and a big line there. The success that I had as an athlete was based on being focused and being organized, and I tried to instill that in my employees and lead them by my example.
Looks very professional.
Think we're good?
Guys,
Coming up.
This is our first page on our celebrity chef here, Curtis Stone.
You cannot read that screen. No one in that room could read it.
We were thinking about the facts, and they're serious.
Turn the computer.
The computer wasn't working. And I'm like, what is going on?
And later.
When do you come up with this out of nowhere that I should fire you? You want to go home?
Morning. Morning. I would like to introduce to you Curtis Stone, world-renowned chef and truly a wonderful guy.
A lot is riding on this presentation because a lot of the criteria falls on this, and we've got to get this presentation right.
Now, I'm absolutely thrilled to be standing here before you as the ambassador for LifeLock and Norton. So why me? Why am I the ambassador? Let's look around this room for a minute. I mean, we've got some seriously recognisable celebrities. Now, the reason that I was chosen is because I've been a victim to identity theft. My life is no different to yours, no different to the guys down the road.
It was great watching the executives, especially Curtis. It was the opening act. He's got that look. Both the executives, were smiling, if not almost laughing, in a positive way. So that was a good sign.
Thanks.
So this is our first page, and our celebrity chef here, Curtis Stone, and Goldberg, and myself. We wanted to make sure that we had the branding front and center, and at the top, Norton and LifeLock. The copy reads, I'm Curtis Stone, celebrity chef, and I've had my identity stolen twice. We continue with the theme of our celebrity chef actually giving some tips to people about cybercrime, and he actually says in the copy that he online banks, but he has LifeLock and he has Norton antivirus protection.
You cannot read that screen. No one in that room could read it. And there was so much font, so much you were trying to say, rather than just be real.
On the final page, we've got Curtis here with family and a great moment, beautiful picture. We thank you guys for your time. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.
Great, thank you.
Good morning, you guys. I have a simple question for you. What's important to you? Is it your shoes? Maybe your watch, of course your purse and your wallet. Are they that important? Because they can be replaced. Now here's the real question. What can't be replaced? You and your identity. When we were thinking about this advertorial, we were thinking about the facts, and they're serious.
The presentation, it started off really bad. The computer wasn't working. And I'm like, what is going on?
This happens sometimes, so I have the facts somewhat memorized. Identity theft happens once every 3 seconds. 1 in 5 American will experience identity theft. Our PowerPoint was off, but there's something about imperfection that's actually really cool because it opens up the door for you to be somewhat spontaneous. We chose Sharon Osbourne because she's strong. She is with it. We say mother, manager, and most importantly, protector. Our next 2 pages of our advertorial, we wanted to touch at the heartstrings. We wanted the families to know that if you have LifeLock and Norton 360, you're gonna feel safe. We're watching, you're protected. Who's watching? Sharon Osbourne. She's our protector. She's our watchdog. I knew my message points would be just fine. And I knew we had a really good spokesperson. Here is our protector herself, Sharon Osbourne.
Good morning. So why does our advertorial today I started to get all high temperature again and sweating, and then I started to cough.
She's been sick a bit lately.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're being judged on the presentation, and the presentation was not good.
There was coughing. Excuse me. There was the projector not working. Really hope we don't lose because of it, but it wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
The consumer recognizes me as a very strong businesswoman, a woman that you don't mess with. That's why this is your new campaign. Thank you.
Hello, Todd, Janice.
Hi there.
So how did our teams do?
Well, both teams put in a really great effort. But in both cases, we'd have to make some changes in order to be able to use the creative ads.
What kind of changes?
Well, the women's team really went for that emotional connection in their creative. They got the fact they needed to educate. There wasn't quite enough education in the ad. The men were just the opposite. The facts were almost overwhelming.
We'd also need to go check some of those facts because there may be a few of those that would be hard to get legal clearance.
Todd, what did you think of the women's team?
They had a few issues with their presentation. It could have gone better.
And there was no call to action. You want customers to know where do they go to get the products.
What about the men's team? What did you think of Curtis as the spokesperson?
I thought Curtis did a very good job of being articulate, why he was very interested in the products together and what value that would bring to an individual.
Who would have been your best celebrity?
You want to go communicate, safety, security, protection, the combination of these two? I probably would have had Goldberg.
So you would have had Goldberg in the center and maybe by himself?
You bet.
Okay, could I take a look at the women's team first, please? Nice looking.
Really catches the online and offline on the 2 pages. They've hit both sides of the elements.
Very good.
Very creative.
Okay.
Let me see the men.
This is the men's.
Very good. I think this is very good too. Okay, so let me ask you, who's the winner?
Coming up.
Daryl hasn't even looked at it yet. I don't think Daryl gives it.
Cyndi Lauper, she kind of steers us in the wrong direction, so then we kind of lose our track. You're throwing me into the...
Si lo único que escuchas son reclamos.
So, Michael, how'd your team do?
Team did great.
Who was the star?
Oh, the team was the star. I mean, we got back to that team that we were when we first began.
Who was your weakest player?
Weakest player we had would be Rod.
Rod? Why Rod?
I don't know. I'm surprised. I did whatever he asked me to do. And
Go ahead, Michael, tell me.
If I have to rank everybody in terms of how they did, Rod would fall at the bottom in terms of his contribution.
Was Brett hard to handle?
Brett wasn't as hard to handle as I expected.
But you took care of him.
I took care of Brett, absolutely.
Okay, good. And Daryl is Daryl, right?
Hey, Daryl is Daryl, and I think, in all honesty, you look at Daryl, in his demeanor and you think, he's not really contributing that much to the team. Anything that you ask Daryl to do, you can guarantee that it's going to be done, and it's going to be done right.
Good. Let's stay on Rod, okay? What's going on, Rod?
one of the difficulties when you're not the project manager is that you express some of your views, the boss makes the final decision, and then you try to do the best you can to execute his game plan. But one of the responsibilities, I think, to be a good team player is when you have some concerns, you should try to address them. At the same time, you don't want to hound the guy because he's working real hard to try to make sure we get our task done. So it's a bit of a delicate balance.
Do you think you won?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we all work together as a team. And
what did you think of your end product?
I might have done it a little bit differently, but I still think it turned out a heck of a lot better than I thought it might when it all was said and done.
Summer, how did you like your team?
I love my team. I couldn't love my team any more than I do.
Every one of them.
Yeah. I might have issues with some of the things they do, but I love every single one of them.
What were the issues?
No, I love Cyndi Lauper. I absolutely love her. I love her
But
stories.
what does that mean?
But we had X amount of time to get our stuff done, and her stories are so awesome. And I want to hear them.
I was telling you stories while we were trying to work.
No, but you try to explain things, and in the end, you come back and your end result is great. But when in the process of getting there, it kind of gets us off track.
I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I love
Are
her.
they just too long and you didn't have time?
No, they'll come at a time when we're trying to get on a track, and we're trying to get all of our thoughts out, at least get one thought down on our paper. And then she'll bring something in, which is a great point, but it's not what we're talking about, so then we kind of lose our track.
You're throwing me into the...
No, I'm not.
Yes,
Well, in a certain way you are. In a certain way, you're saying there was disruption
Well, I'm being
and
honest.
you didn't have time for
But
these
I didn't
stories.
say she was a weak player, I just said that she kind of steers us in the wrong direction. And that is a part of managing. No.
Okay,
All right.
Holly, what do you think of Cyndi, and is Cyndi a big asset to the team?
Cindy's a great asset to the team because of her heart, but when it comes to getting together as a group, sometimes her wordiness or the way she explains things can be a little difficult for us to digest at times.
Cyndi, you're not hurt by this, are you?
A little.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I gotta also take it in and think, okay, you know, I have a big personality, I should have a...
You do. Do you
Yeah.
consider yourself a tough person?
Oh, like thick
Are you able to
skin?
take it? Yeah, thick-skinned.
Not really, but I'm trying.
Do you consider yourself an emotional person? Very much so. Maybe that's why the music is so good. I'd like to see the two ads. Do you mind? Okay? Gavin, can we see the ads? Don? I'm going to give them to you, okay? So you're going to look at theirs. Gavin, let them look at the women's. I'd like to know what you think of their advertorial.
I think it's an ad, but I don't think it's an advertorial. And the task was to make an advertorial.
What do you think of what they do? I mean, you haven't had much time to review it.
Yeah.
Daryl hasn't even looked at it yet. I don't think Daryl gives it, right? He thinks he did a better job and that's it.
Of course.
Governor, what do you think?
I like theirs.
You
Why
like
not
it more?
stanza? Well, I mean, I'd read that, I think I'd take something from that.
What do you think of theirs?
It's like a composition.
It's like a newsletter.
It's like an advertorial. That's what they ask us to do, an advertorial.
Well, that's a subjective.
Yeah.
I'd like to know where the editorial
we talk
content is.
May I say something?
Yes, Cindy, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Yes, you are,
But-
despite what Summer did to you.
I 100% apologize to Cindy.
What are you apologizing? You just
No,
spoke the
that's
truth.
how you
Why?
felt.
Are you apologizing
It's
for
fine.
speaking the truth?
No, because I hurt her feelings, and I should have talked to her about it before I came out here.
It's all right. I thought I was sticking up for you. I'm very sorry I was out of line.
No.
I won't say anything anymore. That's okay. When I looked at that, I thought, okay, yes, that's an advertorial, except that somewhere in between, it should have been small, because when you look up advertorials on the internet, they're concise, and the picture really tells you. And so it's got to be like that. Nobody's going to stop and read this.
I'm starting to
unless-
understand Summer's point.
Okay. Gavin?
Actually, I think Cindy was on the right page. Nobody, in this day and age, nobody has the time to read all this.
Unless you're reading an article, though. People
I bet you
reading that.
1 out of 100 people reads this article. One
I
out
would
of 100.
disagree.
I bet you not even 1 out of 100. No.
I mean, you're a businessman and you pay a lot of money for these 4 pages. Is that all you want to use them for?
Yeah, if
That's
you
it?
sell the product, who cares?
There's nothing in here that
I think
tells
somewhere
you.
in between the two is where you ideally want to end up. Whereas the men, clearly way too verbose. I mean, no one is going to read it, to your point, Cindy. The women, perhaps not enough. You know, there is the picture and it does tell a pretty compelling story, but you may be missing something.
I just have a question. How come there's no phone number? If I'm going to buy this product, Norton LifeLock, how do I contact this person? There's no phone number.
I know, that's a good point.
That is a good point. So why isn't there a phone number?
It didn't even cross our mind to put a phone number on there.
Okay. Let's find out who won. The Norton and LifeLock executives thought both teams really did a very good job. They liked the condensed version of yours. They liked some of your details. They were concerned with others. There was a lot of action going on, but maybe they didn't have enough action. They thought both teams overall did a very good job. The fact is, the executives thought the women's team was farcical. So the women win. They thought you did a really outstanding job. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And Summer, I'm giving you a check for $20,000. And in addition, a portion of the sales from the Norton LifeLock bundle will also be donated to your charity. What is the charity? Summer, you're crying, Summer. Look at you. Look at you. That's very nice. So what is your charity, honey?
Sorry.
It's okay.
My charity is Right to Play. We bring sport and play to developing countries and children who've been affected by war.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great charity.
Thank you.
So go back to the war room, watch. You'll have a good time. Congratulations, Summer. Good job. Good job. Cindy, very good. Sharon, get better.
Feel better. Feel better.
I'm so proud of you.
Men, unfortunately, someone will get fired.
Let's get that champagne open.
That was rough. I am so beyond excited that I won $20,000 for Right to Play. And then on top of that, the fact that LifeLock is going to donate a portion of their sales straight to my charity. I wanted to walk back in the war room and just celebrate. But all I could feel about was how bad I made Cindy feel. I certainly don't want to hurt her feelings or, throw her under the bus. It's not what I was trying to do at all.
If you have a problem with me, tell me.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
I absolutely love your stories.
No, I don't need to tell you stories.
No, wait.
I'm just trying to tell you so you understand why it's not right.
Exactly. And I love, because I always say this, your point at the end is so perfect.
So just say the point and don't explain.
Okay. Will that make you sad if I say that?
No.
Can you get to the point? I need the point.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That
That's all
just
I was
makes me
saying.
sad if you don't tell me at the time. I just took it personally because she really threw me under the bus. And I bent over backwards trying to help her. I'm so glad the charity won.
So, Michael, that's a little disappointing.
No, it's more than disappointing. I don't like to lose. And I thought
I know you don't like to lose.
and I thought our team, we were a great team. All of these guys did a great job. And,
But whose idea was it to use so many words? Because it really, even from my standpoint, when I looked, I wasn't that surprised to see that they won. There were a lot of words.
Yeah, my idea.
It was your idea.
My idea, absolutely.
Did anyone try to talk you out of that? Did anyone say, let's condense this a little bit, it's a little too verbose?
I don't know, no one said that. I think that there were, somebody wanted more pictures, somebody wanted more pictures, and you guys can speak up and say, hey, you know what? Because I'm going to take full
I love that
responsibility.
you admit it, though, and you're just saying that right now. I love it. I go through this so much where they say, well, even if it was your idea, they say, well, it was the governor's idea, it was Curtis's idea. I love that you admit it.
Yeah, look, I'm the project manager. I stepped up and said, hey, this is a tough task, but I thought what we got done in the amount of time. We went on, we looked at the whole situation. What is an advertorial? And honestly, we had to take a step back, and we were kind of like, I think we know what it is.
Again, I don't believe anybody's going to read all this. There's a lot of copy here, and the way life is today, people are in a hurry. You have 2 or 3 seconds to make an impression.
Too much words. I got
Words,
you.
and it was a little confusing.
I hear you.
And it didn't move to sell the product.
I hear you.
What the end game was. For me.
Why did you pick Curtis? And I love Curtis, he's great, he's young, handsome, all that stuff, but he's not your biggest celebrity, and maybe in this case, he's not your best spokesman because it's limited. You know, the world of food and the world of cooking is a little bit
Everybody
limited compared
cooks.
to the world of baseball and wrestling and all this other stuff.
I felt like we needed to go with a current star, someone who's current, and he's on Biggest Loser, he's on TLC doing, going into people's house cooking, and the cooking thing is hot. Everybody's into it. And then there was a study that showed that chefs have this trust factor that other celebrities don't.
But Goldberg looks like security. He just looks like security.
He looks obvious, though. That's obvious, and they
Well,
said
it's obvious. I
don't
agree.
be obvious, be unique, be original.
Yeah, but a chef doesn't necessarily look like security. So Curtis, did you want to be the spokesperson for the team?
I wasn't
Do you
opposed
should
to
have
it.
been? Do you think you should have been?
I think it had a lot of credibility. I think that a lot of people do trust chefs. There's been studies that have done that as much.
Are you very well recognized, like when you walk down the street? Do they know you very well?
Not as well as some of the guys in this room, definitely not. But in saying that, you can have some brand ambassadors that don't have any level of celebrity. So I think that in one way, everybody does come into contact with food on a daily basis. So I don't know that it was a terrible decision.
Brett, you're very quiet. Why?
No one's asking you questions, and I'm just letting everyone speak.
Why do you think you lost?
Personally, I feel that we should have won. I came in here
Oh,
with
you
this
think
team.
your editor was better? You don't really believe that.
No, it wasn't. Come on, Brett. You do covers.
Keep it-
If he handed a cover like that into the record company, he'd throw it right back at him. He knows it because he's in our business.
I don't believe our advertorial was better, I'll tell
So
you
why
why.
should you have won?
Well, here's what I think. I think it was a combination of both. I think it was they needed a little more information. We definitely had too many words.
But you thought theirs was better.
I think that theirs was a stronger image. If I was going through a page, and Michael knows I felt this way from the beginning. Here's how honest I was with Michael. I said, Michael, you're a project manager. As a graphic designer, this is my suggestion.
Are you a graphic designer?
No, I'm not a graphic designer.
So what are you referring to when you say
Well, for my career, my life with Poison or Solo and whatever, I
Okay,
develop all
fine.
the
So go ahead.
pictures. So anyway, my point was with Michael was very simple. We're a team, and he's a project manager, and I would not argue with my boss on that. At the end, I'll do eventually what he
Are
gives
they
me.
respecting your ideas, Brett?
We're a team, and he's a project manager, and I would not argue with my boss on that. At the end, I'll do eventually what he
Are
gives
they
me.
respecting your ideas, Brett?
Sometimes and sometimes no.
Michael, who was your weakest player?
Right.
Rod, what part did you play?
I played a lot of a part, and I think part of the difficulty with Michael and I.
They're killing you, Rod.
Well,
Let me say this before you start.
Go ahead.
Rod contributed. Rod is not the reason why we lost this task. Now Rod can go on and do the political thing.
What did you do, Rod?
No, it's not a political thing.
Well, he's in a really tough position.
Oh, absolutely.
In all fairness,
Yeah.
because I think Rod's a tough guy. I also
great
happen to
guy.
think he's
He's
a
a
nice
great
guy.
guy.
Okay.
Great guy.
But he's in this horrible position where he's really sort of got to be nice.
Right.
I mean, he can't come out like a ranting, raving lunatic and attack Darryl because someday in the not too distant future, maybe one of your fans is sitting on a jury.
That's right.
He's in a very, very tough position.
And Daryl's bigger than him.
I think if I were him, I'd be kissing ass also.
Well, he has been.
I'd be more, he certainly has been.
We feel for him.
Yeah,
I
no,
really
it's-
like. You know what,
it's a
Tom?
tough
I really
position.
like. I really like him. I like his courage.
He's got a lot of courage. He's in a tough spot. I mean, I think we all understand that. And so, I get what's going on. At the same time, on The Apprentice, we all have to produce. And tell me what you did, Rod.
I'm eager to do that. And let me say again, I just feel that in this particular case, and maybe in the other ones, to some extent, I think Michael and the others, because they're maybe concerned about my situation, they're just not utilizing me enough. But I've been in this business, and something like that, I think I've been more helpful on. The business of communications, and I've been in those ads, and I know how people have short
True.
attention spans.
I mean, you became governor.
Yeah.
And
A lot of ads.
when the decisions were made early on, I was assigned to go run errands, and I did it. And I do everything and anything they ask me, whether it's in the kitchen, to work in the kitchen to help Curtis out, whether it's waiting tables, I'll do anything. And then when The decision makers are coming up the creative end. They have their sense of what they want to do. I'll try to improve it, and I'll even raise some suggestions. Michael's very focused, very disciplined. He gave good direction. He made decisions. But I think I should have been more on the creative end of this than running errands.
If you were me, who would you fire?
Well, superstar. I mean, I'm a big fan. But, well, I think the manager. But it kills me to say that.
Brett, who would you fire?
That's a tough decision, but I would say that just like when I was doing it, just like when Sinbad was doing it, it eventually falls on the shoulders of our project manager, but I felt Michael 1,000% on point. He was on point.
I think Michael's fantastic.
He had a plan. He had a plan.
Who would you fire, Daryl, if you were me?
Well, I would have to say Michael done a great job. Michael, I praise Michael for having us organized. You know, that was something we missed in the last test. He got us back on track. And when I look at it and say, these guys here done a super job, all of them. I think all of them. I think highly of every last one of them. And if you had to let anybody go, it would be me.
Come on, Daryl.
No.
You're here for your charity.
This is this macho.
Who has a bigger...
You don't really mean it. You're just trying to be a nice guy. You're so full of crap, Daryl.
No,
You're saying it because you want to be cool and you want to be a nice guy.
No, because
honestly, you don't deserve to. You didn't do anything wrong.
No, I know that. But you know what? I'm sticking up for what they did. I ran around and did things that Michael asked me for their effort as a team in putting this project together. It takes a lot. It takes a lot when you're a project manager and you're working one person, you got others over here, and they have ideas and stuff, and it can get confusing.
Well, do you think you lost because of Daryl?
No, absolutely not. We didn't lose because of Daryl. Not only did we not lose because of Daryl, Daryl was a great member of the team. And
Michael, do you want to be fired?
I don't want to be fired. I didn't want to lose. I certainly don't want to be fired.
But Daryl, do you want to be fired?
You say you've been...
Michael, do you want to be fired?
I don't want to be fired. I didn't want to lose. I certainly don't want to be fired.
But Daryl, do you want to be fired?
Yes.
You really do?
Well, because I think of these guys and sitting back and watching their effort and what they...
Are you tired? Do you want to go home?
Yes.
You do, I can see it. And I can see Michael doesn't want to go home.
Yes.
Michael wants to stay. I'm really surprised, Daryl.
Well, I'm definitely tired. No question about it.
Think that through, man.
But if you make me stay, this is a different story. But I wouldn't want to go home.
Daryl wants to go home.
He's tired.
You're here for your charity. It's autism.
The rest of the guys probably want to be here for their charity, so let
Exactly.
them
It's
stay
about
and
the
play
charity.
for the charity.
Over 9 seasons, I've had 2 people that quit. And those people have never forgotten it, and they've really regretted it. And they apologized. I said, you're a quitter. And they never have lived it down. I mean, they call me and they write me. It doesn't matter, but, they quit.
I wouldn't quit, Donald. That I wouldn't do. But, I have enough...
But you're asking to be fired, and you shouldn't be the one fired on this task, unless you want to be fired because you have to go home. Maybe you miss your wife, maybe you miss the kids, I don't know.
I'm not...
I mean, we all want to sort of like, it's time. The governor wants to go. The governor has a lot of business to take care of.
I want to stay. I believe in my charity. I want to raise money for pediatric cancer.
Okay,
Kids with cancer.
a good reason
Fight
not
for
to
that.
quit.
Donald, I am a team player. I've always been a team player. That's why I've been a winner.
Yeah, but you have something more in your mind than being a team guy, Daryl.
No, I really don't. I really don't. I really don't.
As a baseball player, in my opinion, and this isn't bad, but I always thought you were a little bit more of an individual player than a team player. You didn't like certain members of your team and you let them know it, et cetera,
well,
right?
that was out of, disputes in the clubhouse. But once you step on the field together,
Where do you come up with this out of nowhere that I should fire you?
Donald, Mr. Trump, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can call me whatever you want.
I'm being sincere about it, you know. You're looking at,
Come on, Strawberry.
You gotta be fired because you did, come on. You can't just get out.
Well, I
because
don't know.
he
I
can-
mean, I'm hearing something.
All right, let him quit, but still fire somebody. If he wants to quit, but somebody's
but
got to be
I'm
fired.
hearing, well, you
I
shouldn't be
wouldn't quit.
saying that because you're a very obvious candidate
Hey,
because
and
you're
you
the
know what, I'll
project
take it
manager.
if I'm fired, but I don't want
But
to
I'm
stay.
a little bit
I don't want to stay
surprised.
here because he quit.
not quitting.
Then stay.
I'd rather take the hit than Michael take the hit. I'll put it like that.
Are you taking the hit, Daryl, because you're loyal to your team, or are you taking it because you want to get the hell out of
I'm
here?
taking it because I'm loyal to my team. And I don't think Michael should take the hit. I think Michael did an incredible job for this group.
Hey, you don't have to sell me on Michael, but Michael was your project manager, and you lost. And then all of a sudden, you come out with this thing that you want to be fired.
Well,
And I have a feeling it's because you want to go home.
well,
And that's okay. I've had that before. You know, people have to go home.
yeah.
But I have a feeling that's the real reason. Is it? A little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Daryl, you're fired. Michael, I don't think he really took a bullet for you, but I respect Daryl. You know, I'm always going to respect Daryl, really.
Thank you.
But I was surprised. I was very surprised. I think the one that's most surprised, you know who it is?
No.
Michael.
Not happy.
No, I know you're not happy. And you know what, Michael?
I
Hey,
really
Michael, you don't have to explain. I know you better than you know yourself. You've been an unbelievable champion. And you were ready to go, but you were ready to go in the merits.
I don't think that I just wouldn't feel comfortable being here if Daryl just leaves.
Michael, you shouldn't talk him out of the decision. I mean, there's been plenty of Olympic runners who have won because the guy that was beating them tripped at the finish line. You may have won some races that way too. It
Hey.
doesn't make the person who won the gold any less of a winner.
But I don't want to win the race because the guy quit.
Michael, do you believe in luck?
Yeah, you got to have a little luck.
You believe in luck?
Luck happens.
You believe in luck?
I do.
Michael, you got lucky. Now get out of here before I change my mind. Okay, thank you.
Adios, thank you. Bye-bye, thank you. The man offered himself up, so he's quitting.
Margin.
You're so nice, though. It's very nice, Strawberry, but quit on your charity. The most disturbing thing about Daryl leaving is the fact that he's playing for autism, like I am.
You guys did a great job, man. You know?
And I cannot believe that Daryl Strawberry, who knows everybody in New York, is just gonna walk away with no money for his charity.
All right, there you go. Good, good.
So Gavin, what do you think?
I think this was an unbelievable twist. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He wanted to go home. He wanted to get fired. I think you made the right decision.
I think he wanted to get fired. I think Michael got lucky. What do you think?
You know, I don't think Michael's used to winning that way. I'm really shocked at it, but as they say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
And he was lucky.
I think people will be shocked that I quit, but I did it for a great reason. And when the question came to me, who should he fire? I said, fire me, because I was pretty exhausted myself anyway, and I think my teammates done a great job on the task.
Sigue con America's